the 20th week of pregnancy, we have some interesting baby developments to cover, including some big news happening with baby's fingers and some symptoms that might be new for you as well in the 20th week. Of course, we're also going to talk about what you might want to add to your think and do list this week, and we're going to check in with the mamas that we are following as part of our expecting crew. Spoiler alert, we're going to find out the sex of their babies this week. Welcome to the Birth Toolbox Classroom. I'm Alice, a doula and childbirth educator, going week by week through pregnancy with you. Sounds like it's time for class. What's happening with the baby's development this week? At 20 weeks of development, the fetus is between 6.5 and 10 inches, or 16 to 25 centimeters in length, which is similar to that of a banana. The weight of the fetus is just about 10.6 ounces, which is about the weight of 2 baseballs. By the 20th week of pregnancy, the fetus has their distinct fingerprints and footprints. They've also grown fingernails and toenails by this point. Now, while the vital organs have fully formed by this stage, they still continue to mature and grow. And the brain, for example, is maturing very rapidly, with brain structures becoming more complex and the neurons forming connections. During the 20th week, the baby might start practice breathing, which means they inhale and exhale small amounts of amniotic fluid. Though, of course, they're going to continue to get their oxygen supply through their umbilical cord. The combination of hormonal changes and the pressure of your growing uterus on your intestines might lead to constipation at your 20th week of pregnancy. Now, hydration is super important throughout pregnancy, but it's especially important to help keep constipation away. It's also important to up your intake of high fiber foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Regular exercise like walking or yoga can also help prevent constipation. Other symptoms you might be experiencing in the 20th week include breast changes, skin changes, leg cramps, round ligament pain, and Braxton Hicks contractions. Let's check in with our expecting crew and see how week 20 is going for them.
Hi, I'm 20 weeks pregnant, and this week I've been feeling pretty good. I had my anatomy ultrasound scan today, which was pretty exciting. They told me that everything looks normal, and the baby is measuring, the size and development, everything is what they would expect for what I thought my due date was. So that was nice. I got to learn that it's a boy, and they also talked about some of the things like where my placenta is located. They told me it's good. They told me that I might not feel the baby kick as much or as visibly as with my first because of where my placenta is located.
I am 20 weeks pregnant this week, and still feeling pretty good, pretty normal, which is great. I've been getting a little bit of extra kind of stretching and cramping in particular in my belly. Just, I don't know, I assume moving around funny and things growing and all that. And I am able to feel baby kicking and moving around a little bit more now. I do have an anterior placenta, so I wasn't feeling it quite so much, but now there's a few particular areas where I can feel her pretty well when she is active, and so that's getting a little bit more frequent, which is exciting.
It's time again for the Think and Do board, and on this side, I'm adding reading to the do side of the board. If you're like most pregnant moms, there are topics that you know a little bit about and some that you know nothing about. Now, I've found that you can really ease your mind when you learn about those topics that are just taking up space in your brain. Now, you might be the type of person that wants to dive fully into a comprehensive book like this one, Pregnancy, Childbirth, and the Newborn. I do love this book. It's a classic. I'm going to drop a link down below if you want to check that out. But if your time is limited and you would rather have more of a concise resource, I highly recommend this workbook. Much thinner, it's very visual, it has really top-line information that meets the needs of most people. I love it so much that I worked with the publisher to add my logo to the cover, and I send this with my Birth Toolbox Couples Childbirth class. So it's a great resource. You can always buy it on your own as well, and I'll put the link to this one below as well. On the Think side of the board, I'm adding Baby Moon to the board. Now, Baby Moon is a trip that most couples plan prior to 34 weeks. Of course, it's that last hurrah before the baby arrives. And it's a great time in your pregnancy to think about if you're going to make this trip happen, do you have the ability, what you're going to do. Good time to brainstorm on this topic. Hey there, before you go, make sure you're getting our weekly newsletter. I'm going to drop the link in the description below. You can also find it at birthtoolbox.com/newsletter. I hope you have an amazing 20th week of pregnancy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can follow along through the weeks ahead. See you next week.